Hello after day 8 of hiking the Pekoe Trail to spread the message that adventure prevents dementia and we can all boost our brain at any age or stage of life. Today I completed stages 11 and 12, which covered 20 kilometres from Devil's Staircase, the steepest descent of the Pekoe Trail, to HAPUTALE train station, another major town in Sri Lanka's tea country. And before you get complacent about today being a downhill path, so it can't be that hard, when it comes to the Pekoe Trail, what goes down must come up again. And we're up to the letter R in the acronym Adventures. What does R stand for? R stands for relationships. Nurture good relationships. Cultivate a confidant. Find a community you want to be a part of. Contribute to your fellow person in whichever way brings you the most joy and fulfillment. Because loneliness is as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and smoking increases the risk of dementia by 30 to 50%. In contrast, supportive relationships halve our risk of developing dementia and improve every aspect of our physical and mental health. Even more importantly, though, relationships are what give our lives the greatest sense of meaning, purpose, and joy. Good relationships are our greatest source of uplifting emotions. And there is no greater human need than being of value to our fellow human. And supportive relationships are the biggest reason I've made it this far through the Pekoe Trail. Daily messages from friends that are vicariously trekking the Pekoe Trail with me, their encouraging words that it's worth the screaming muscles and the peeling feet seriously kept me going. They keep us all going. So how do relationships prevent dementia? How are they feeding our brain? Well, once again, positive, nurturing, supportive relationships lower our risk of stress hormone cortisol. They reduce inflammation. They strengthen our immune system. They dampen down the sympathetic nervous system. They make us feel safer. And when the brain feels safe, the brain operates better. There have been remarkable studies on the power of relationships. I'll just give you two. I'll give you two. One is about how it changes our actual perception of the world. There was a study done that took people to a mountain range and asked them to judge the steepness of a hill. And on one occasion, they were taken out by themselves, and on another occasion, they were allowed to bring a support person. When they had the support person with them, even though that support person was not allowed to say a word, had to be facing the opposite direction 1.5 meters away. When that support person was there, people judged the mountain as being 15% less steep than when they were looking at it on their own. That is remarkable, that having support changes our perception of the obstacles that we have to conquer. Mountains seem more climbable, obstacles more surmountable, goals more attainable. So create that community around you. It is absolutely invaluable. And in another study, married couples were asked to come into the lab, and they had a blister induced on their forearm on 2 occasions. On one occasion, a counsellor guided them through discussing happy memories, good times. On another occasion, they were asked to talk about a conflict. To the amazement of the treating doctors, when the couples talked about conflict, their wounds took nearly twice as long to heal. Our immune system, our capacity to heal, is strengthened when we have supporting relationships around us. So, build those relationships and tell somebody you love them today.